What about the idea of going to a military base? They might.
It's obvious. There's going to be lots of people doing that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But there's a lot down south, aren't there? But the problem would be that it would be dependent on their policy towards people.
Yeah.
Would they try and shoot you even for turning up, or would they say, "Okay, we're taking people in, but you've got to strip off so we can see you've not been bitten, and we're going to hold you in this place for 48 hours with some other people. If you all die, we're just going to burn you all, or something like that, or if you'll get turned." So it is possible that would actually be riskier than just waiting it out yourself.
My gut says military base is a bad idea.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It could work. It could actually be good, but also there's a big risk there. The sort of spectrum of risk is pretty high.
Callum, sorry, you haven't given your plan yet.
Well, I haven't even got to how you're getting to the boat. And
well, I live near my plan was going to be the boat as well. You stole it.
But how do you get to it? Because where do you live?
So where I'm from, I'm quite near the coast in Kent. So feasible, and I have a car.
So
feasibly,
dinghy
I
and
could
go over to France.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Reverse migrant it.
Yeah.
So you're driving to Whitstable or Dover or something?
Yeah, Dover.
Okay.
Yeah. Dover Castle. That can be my sort of
push
point
the
of
zombies
entry.
off the cliff.
Yeah. Being in a castle would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty good.
Mm.
Although I feel like it would actually be pretty easy to get into if there were like thousands of zombies just coming through the gate. You want someone with one entrance and one exit.
Just imagining you like in at the end of the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Shouting. Shouting Knit at the zombies.
Yeah. But somewhere like that, like an English heritage site where there's like armor and swords and shit, and you can like somewhere quite defensible. That could work.
I think it's very contingent on the sort of defensibility of said castle, really, isn't it? Because a lot of them have been turned into tourist destinations that are designed for people who are less than ambulatory.
Yeah. There's a castle near where I live called Sissinghurst Castle, which is basically just like a tower. And that'd be pretty good.
I think a tower would work quite well. Heating would be pretty difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
If you light a fire, of course.
Yeah, it's not.
Then it's going to potentially crack the stones.
Yeah,
and make the whole thing come crumbling down.
So there are two issues. There's the long-term and the short-term perspective, and some plans that seem good short-term, maybe bad long-term. So, for instance, it seems to me that all the plans you're talking about are localist plans. That may be good in the short term, but long term, it may be bad.
Are we talking about like reestablishing?
Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. Yeah, because there are gangs forming. If you just stay at one place,
hippies.
Yeah, this is. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say this is why you would kind of be forced to trust some people, right? You can't be on your own, because if you have a large group of people, it makes you less prone to be attacked, right? From gangs. If they see that you're a group of like 15, 20 people, well, they think, well, that's a bit of a risk. Better to pick off, groups of 3 or 4. Like, you want to be the biggest group, ideally. It might be a bit more difficult to feed everyone, but also, if you lose a few people as well, it's not that tragic for your survival. And so you've got the human resource element there. You kind of just want to build a horde, like locusts. You just go through, get all the resources in an area, and move on, almost like nomads. That might actually work in the long term.
Yeah, because habitually speaking, there is an instinct to form communities, and if we wait a long time before we trust each other again, that's going to break. So we need to take advantage of the inherent bias that people have and to socialize and form groups quickly. That's my idea.
I think when everything kicks off, people will be very prone to trust one another, right? Because it will just be humans versus the zombies. That's how you would initially perceive it, right? So they wouldn't think people are trying to screw you over necessarily immediately. It's only when people start to realize, oh, wait,
I think the complete opposite.
Really?
I think it would completely split into political, ethnic, and religious lines. Totally. Because you're not going to hang out with some communist types in a situation like this.
I'll
like a Metro 2033, right? You know what I mean, Callum?
I know, I've played it before.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I'm not going to give them my property, but they can do their own thing, I'll do mine. And there's still someone who's useful, right?
You're assuming too much goodwill.
Yeah, but people need other people to survive.
Yeah. But when resources are thin, that's gets a bit more difficult, right?
Well, they're a communist, so they're not going to eat.
If you've got a group of people, 30 of which are white Christians, the other 30 of which are Arab Muslims, and there's a shortage of resources, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, there's going to be a clash, but I wouldn't be in the position where I've got a 50-50 split of. It's just
it's a hypothetical,
I'm recruiting
right?
for a religious war.
Yeah.
So.
But it's a plausible, very, very, very low probability, but it's a plausible situation, right?
Yeah, but also,
so just extrapolate from that as a variety of
there
things
might
that could
be
go wrong.
Group conflict, right? But chances are that the groups aren't necessarily going to form along sort of pre-apocalypse lines necessarily.
What do you reckon, Callum?
So my plan for living is one that I thought would utterly fail until I remembered something. So I can't run. My apartment, everyone in my apartment is so dark, they're all going to be bitten within the first 5 seconds. And I'm going to be stuck in there. And if I try and leave, I'm dead. So I've got to go for the survival victory. I think I can do that because I've always got a bunch of food that I could live off for about 28 days. Pick like number out of nowhere. But for water, I was thinking the same thing as you. I don't have a bath. You run the tap, they might hear it, and then you're buggered. You've got to sit there for ages. So what am I going to do? And I remembered I'm a genius because I don't like spending money. And of course, water has a higher specific heat capacity than air. So my freezer is just filled to the brim with bottles of water that I shoved in there to save £1 a year. So I've got loads of water and I've got food, in which case I'm just going to sit pretty and be silent for 28 days, go mental. And then once everything's dead outside, come out, take the sword and then, go get a gun, toss this away. And then I'm just going to try and survive until I meet a gang. And then we're going to start the People's Republic of Wiltshire. And then we're going to build back up. So
build back better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we call it Wessex instead of the People's Republic of Wiltshire?
No.
Can we have a monarch, please?
No.
Why not?
It's basically
It's my People's Republic.
See, this is
going to be North Korea. Yeah.
Here comes the splits. Right? We've got this Chechen here, you got a Wiltshire boy.
Well, you're going to have Callum's North Korean society. You're going to have your hippie society.
We are going to come and kill your hippies.
I'm going to be sort of Stone Age on Dartmoor somewhere if I'm lucky.
The Battle of Avebury. It'd be glorious.
Yeah, Chechens versus pacifists. I mean, who do you think's going to win that one?
They're going to welcome you in. They're going to. Sorry, Stelios.
I'm going to build a maritime empire of pirates.
Rory society. They're going to welcome you in, and it's all going to seem nice. They're like, oh, we're all friendly. We're hippies. We're pacifists. And then we're going to
stick you in a bear costume and make you inseminate people.
What, like midsummer? No, they're going to give you loads of magic mushrooms in your food, and then while everyone's tripping, Rory's just going to go around and systematically murder everyone while the hippies watch in horror.
So we're going to turn up as the Chechens. We'll enslave or kill all of your people in sexual slavery, and then we'll end up running across you in the woods somewhere. And I don't know, we'll turn you into.
You'll just see a hail of arrows from the woods somewhere. You won't even see us.
Yeah, we might treat you as Bigfoot. So you're just a mythical creature, and then we're going to have to take over the land, and you are going to be a menace to us. Your pirate fleet that occasionally comes up on shore and steals all our shit. But I think that's fair.
See, Stelios, I think you and I could have some sort of partnership, because if I'm at Dover Castle with my little round Knights of the Round Table,
you're funding. Hang on, you're funding piracy against the People's Republic. Are you serious?
Yeah, I will.
That's an act of war.
Yes. What are you going to do about it, bitch? I've got a castle.
I'm not leaving Wiltshire.
You played Fallout 3, right? What is the one settlement that's sort of still green and thriving?
In Fallout 3.
In Fallout 3.
Republic of Dave.
Yeah, it's the one with a tree, isn't it?
Tree.
No, that's fake, because he's not a tree. He's a man who's stuck in
But Harold is me. Right?
Yeah, I'm the Republic of Dave. You're Harold. You're that aircraft carrier, Rivet City.
Yeah.
Are you in this? Where are you?
I'm the super mutant. I'm just going to adapt to the environment.
Yeah.
Charlie, I was listening to an offer for a settlement or a deal.
Yeah.
What are your?
Well, since I have a coastal castle, that's my chosen stronghold. I could offer you safe port.
So basically, you're telling me here's this small patch of land. If you want to step on land, you can just come and stay.
Yeah, you can come through my.
Doesn't sound much of a bargain.
And in return, you have to give me
I can go
slaves.
and sit on any port I want.
he's obviously going to betray you as well. As soon as you step on land, his men are going to steal your boat.
So as soon as you step on land, bucket of boiling oil over.
Yeah.
Whereas in the People's Republic, we'll treat you fairly if you.
Everyone is equal in Callum society.
Are you going to show me around? Are you going to give me the Pyongyang tour of Swindon? It's this really beautiful neighborhood here by the glue pot.
Yeah, New Swindon.
Yeah,
everything else will be destroyed.
And then you zoom out.
There's just tents.
The entrance to Callum's civilization is actually going to be nicer than regular Swindon, which is not difficult, by the way.
Yeah.
And then when you get in there, you actually get guided to your little hovel, your little tent somewhere. It's like, oh, you've agreed to stay here now. You're part of our group now. You've got to share all of your supplies with us.
Shut the hell up and plant the wheat.
Do you remember about 10 minutes ago when I said that it would just devolve into politics? Tribal disputes
Literally what's
immediately.
just happened.
Yeah.
You were
Saying.
entirely correct.
Just saying.
Because that's the real problem with zombie apocalypses. Is if you kill like 90% of the population,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no order anymore. So we are just going to just descend into civil war.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Finally, my political utopia. Zombie apocalypse for 2024, please.
I love how you've actually pulled the libertarian thing as well. So, I'm going to go live in the woods and then, the...
It's not really a libertarian thing. All those libertarians in the Stone Age.
No, but the meme of like, I've given up on politics. I'm going to buy a van and go to the woods or something and not engage. And then us authoritarians over here are going to come and oppress you. We're going to take the woods back.
No, you're not.
And then you're going to pay taxes.
We've got bow rights in our civilization. Everyone has a bow.
We've got shotguns from the old shotgun shop in Swindon.
One day of the year you can shoot an Englishman on the Scottish border. That's how I'm going to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, but rounds are going to be your problem, right? In that, if you're clearing blocks of Swindon.
I've got the industrial might of GWR. We can make some more shotgun shells.
If the Callum fate is centered in GWR Swindon, I will leave Avery and join you.
There we are. Alliance is formed.
Yeah. Your throne, which will be my throne eventually, could be the
you can be
the old
economics
trainer.
minister. Run the trains.
Yeah, sound great.
I'm going to be incredibly isolationist and vet people, and only if they have useful skills are they allowed into my civilization. That's my view.
But there won't be any civilization. But it's
There will
collapse.
be. Have a little faith in me, Stelios.
It's you in the woods with an axe.
I'm not going to...
What are you envisioning exactly?
People will be there, they'll come across me and they'll be like, you're a good guy, aren't you? I can trust you. And they'll join up with me.
Josh is there punching his tree. You right, Steve?
You stinky, mud-covered, starving man in the woods. This is the life for me.
In the fortress you made yourself out of wood. Just
Yeah, but the thing is that it's going to be far away. I think by staying in urban areas with pre-built buildings, you're introducing lots and lots of zombies, whereas I'm going to be far further away. The difficulty of zombies is getting overwhelmed. On a one-on-one scenario, I'm confident that I could win.
I reckon after 6 months, you'd devolve into some kind of like golem creature. Where you just like lose the ability of social reasoning.
What, after 6 months?
Yeah.
No.
Psychologists are unstable like that.
Not. I go up and stay out there for fun.
6 months.
Isn't it therapists have the highest suicide rate? So
in Britain, it's farmers. So, your little wheat fields, your communist utopia.
What are you talking about? I'm running the People's Republic of Swindon. Like,
See, no agriculture at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've annexed Avery. They can engage in farming and train building all they want. That's
The commies and the hippies in an alliance.
Yeah, I'm trying to expand our territory down to.
So we've already made alliances.
Yeah, we
need
need
a lot of fannying about.
We're cleaning up the piracy problem.
Me and Callum are literally starting up a new empire, a new team.
Well, I'm
Alliances are
moving far
precarious.
away, so there's no point having an
You
alliance.
haven't heard
is
of the
there?
counter offer.
What's the counter offer?
I'm going to think about it.
I've at least suggested.
I have time though.
Yeah, I've suggested going to a plot of land that's very rural, very removed from civilization that I know off by heart. That's surely got to count for something, right?
Yeah,
And I also know all the deer trails and where to hunt.
Until the grand,
Know how to make a bow.
the Grand Army of Swindon turns up and
yeah.
Well, they're
steamrolls.
going to go down to central Devon, are they?
Yeah, we need tin.
Well, you need to go down to Cornwall for a start.
Yeah, we're going to annex all the way down to the
So you
tail,
may as well get one of these guys' boats and speed it up.
and then we'll
Just
probably
bypass us.
we'll have to pay you Dane Geld every month to go and raid him.
It's also a good thing because if you focus on ships, England has too many rivers. So, for instance, River Ouse in York, it reaches the North Sea. There are plenty of places to go in England from the rivers.
That's a good point, actually, because if you had if
Go
you
from
went
the river to
around the
the-
canal system like a water gypsy, then I thought that was a common phrase.
No, I thought it was more the nickname we're going to have for, like, you know, the pirates. We're all huddled around. If you heard the tale of the water gypsy, the sails up the rivers of England.
The problem,
It's just
like a
Stelios in a
longboat.
boat.
the problem with water gypsy in England and zombie apocalypse is you've got these things called lock gates.
I know, yeah.
You
Well,
need to do them manually. So
I
every time you
imagine-
do that,
I imagine zombies near a lock, they're pretty likely to fall in, right? Especially if you're going through and they're like, oh, and then they try and get at you, and then they lose their footing, and then they're in the lock, and then they drown.
again, we've already established it's not about the zombies, it's about the various Callum fates.
The zombies will be
Yeah.
dead within
Yeah.
a year for sure.
You're going to get hit in the back with a crossbow while you're doing that lock gate by yourself, and you're dead.
Yeah, but you just keep an eye out, don't you? you don't let that happen.
Yeah.
To watch the full video, please become a premium member at lotuseaters.com.